What screams I'm poor but pretend I'm rich? JFC, it's amazing how people come out of the woodwork to brag about having money. Buying clothes from a store that is high prices for actual garbage. People that buy expensive or fancy ice cream and food and post about it on social media are ostensibly some of the most broke people I know. Expensive cars are generally a dead giveaway. Very few people can actually afford to buy luxury vehicles, and most of the people who can afford them actually prefer to drive more economically priced vehicles because, wait for it, it allows them to hold on to more of their wealth, which is how most of them attained and maintain their wealth in the first place. Anything that's not a general consumer good that is conspicuously branded. You can't do much about your car, skis, gym shoes, or your computer having visible branding, but designer items with branding, handbags, shoes, etc., are not exactly high class. Rappers rapping about money, cars and sex but asking for a discount cause $50 to track their vocals is too expensive. Chavs, scallies, Neds. Me shopping at Publix with food stamp money. You pose with or talk about Starbucks like it's fancy. A fart can and some shitty rims on your clapped out Honda. I knew a guy that always wore very flashy jewelry, even at work. Even had this big chain with his name encrusted in diamonds. Yet, always complaining about being broke and being hungry. I lent him $30 once cause he didn't have money for lunch, and I think I received $26 and loose change cause that's all he had on him. Like a week later. Don't think I saw the rest of the money. You think Stella is fancy beer? Monogram clothing. Above ground pools. US Polo Association apparel. Showing off rent money and acting like it's their own actual money. It's pretty obvious if you actually know that they pay rent. My Rolex watch. Where I live, it's women who carry Coach purses. Buying things they can't even afford. Going out and spending money on eating out and fun and saving it for upcoming bills. My ex was like this, and he often didn't have enough to pay his bills, so he often got money from his grandparents. He even bought this nice set of furniture and put it on a payment plan, and I knew he could not afford it. He was also in the process of moving out of his apartment because he was paying his rent way late, and the landlord got tired of it and decided to evict him after he said he was moving out. He was 39 and I was 21. Flexing with your fancy Starbucks drink because your monthly MLM check came in. Anyone who daily drives an Apple product. Ralph Lauren. Standing in front of someone else's supercar taking a selfie, in an Adidas t-shirt with Reebok trainers. Morons driving supercars with license plates like Psila. BMW 3 Series. Logos all over everything. Fake designer handbags. Fake nails and fake Dans. iPhone. Vanity plate that reads classy. Go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, you'll see. BMWs. Supreme clothing. Wearing a suit in a fancy restaurant and ordering the most expensive shit. Not knowing your credit score. A few years back, my dad brought home one of those fancier looking square plates. He then told my mom that he wanted all of his dinners served only on this plate. We lived in a trailer park and always had cheap things for dinner, but for some reason he felt like he was special enough to only use this plate and be the only one allowed to use it too. At some point, she forgot and put his food on a different plate. He yelled at her, threw that food in the trash, and broke his special plate. Dude is poor financially and poor in his treatment of his family, so this is a pretty good answer to me. Pulling out your wad of cash in a Walmart checkout, very obviously flaunting it in front of the cashier and people in line who clearly don't care, and just asking to get mugged in the parking lot. Also, that wad of cash is all the money you have, lol. Voting right wing. Anything Gucci, Balenciaga, Fendi and Supreme all look super tacky to me. Regardless of how much they're worth, I feel like poor people save up what they have just to buy a Gucci shirt. Mod mufflers. Fake Rolex. Your name begins with R or M. Driving an old ass luxury vehicle. Wearing lots of cheap jewelry. Being off government help, but only using it to buy top-notch brands and brand new items every time they come out. BMWs and Mercedes. Buying a Cadillac. Long overdone acrylic nails. Driving a brand new car off the lot, yet still having very uncomfortable work shoes that have holes in them. Paying for gas in your Mercedes with your food stamp card. Yo, let me get $5 on pump 6. It'll be at Starbucks. Anything that reads hustle, loyalty, respect. Wasn't this exact question asked very recently? Flashy rims on a 91 Nissan Sentra. You buy anything in the Supreme brand. A big Gucci belt for men, and for women, a huge LV bag with the monograms. You know what I'm talking about. Why is it so popular to rip on poor people? We're all a lot closer to being poor than we are to being actually wealthy. This poorly disguised contempt for the poor is just delayed self-loathing. Me taking pictures of myself on vacation staying in luxury hotels knowing good and well I couldn't afford to stay in these places without splitting the cost of the room between me and my 3 closest family members. Flexing cash and designer, that is the pinnacle of being broke. My dad, smiley face. A supercar with ball tires. Anyone that seems to go overboard in trying to show their wealth, fancy phones, cars, clothes. I always remember the time I was helping out at a family friend's shop and a guy came in, scruffy as you like, in fact he looked like he was homeless. He left and my friend told me he's a millionaire with a huge farm. It just made me think about big shows of wealth from then on and how they mean nothing. Brand new leased vehicle but lives in a trailer. Saying anyone can be successful if they work hard. Making it rain with $20 worth of $1 bills. I had a guy with a grill in his mouth try to intimidate $20 out of me on the street the other day, so I'd say grills. Using the same cup of Starbucks over and over again. People who use other people as social currency. Either in the "ooh look what high status people I'm with," or the "look how good I am helping these much poorer people than me." A bunch of racked up credit cards. Driving a post-2000 Mustang. Tiffany collab jewelry. Luxury brand gear with obnoxiously large branding, Dior, or Gucci, etc., to advertise to everyone what expensive stuff you have and how rich you are. When I was a teacher it was always the kids from the poorest families who had the newest tech, shoes and clothes. Back then it was less for the gram, and more because they had non-existent money management skills. $500 coach purse. Barely over minimum wage job. Gold-plated cars. An Air Jordan sneaker collection. Women carrying fake big brand handbags. Mainly Louis Vuitton. People leaving the sticker on the peak of a hat. Originally started so people could show off that they had a brand new hat. If you have to show off like that, I assume you probably couldn't really afford it in the first place. An old man screaming "I'm poor but pretend I'm rich." Lots of longer burger baskets. You can't just buy stuff and call it taste. Taking selfies holding stacks of banknote-sized white paper sheets with a real banknote on top. Buying pure-breed dogs with intentions to breed them and sell them ups. You think not eating cat food is putting on airs? Buying Apple products for the clout. 2021 plate BMW/Audi/Mercedes in factory white paint. Gucci belts and Louis Vuitton speedy bags. Selling Herbalife and calling yourself an entrepreneur. Oversized chrome wheels on your car. Gucci clothing. Obnoxious amounts of brand name shit like Coach, Gucci, like, you have to put someone else's name on your stuff and use things as a way to show your worth. Your soul and mind is so fucking poor, all you can understand is material things. iPhones usually. I once knew of someone that always asked to borrow some cash for lunch's work, but then I see them with a $1,400 iPhone. Always with the latest phones but is always looking for the Wi-Fi password because no mobile plan, balance on their account. $75,000 car parked in front of a $75,000 house. A kid bragging about their parents' jobs. I have an iPhone, my mom just doesn't let me bring it to school.